A few days later, I was called to the client's office, and the senior partner had to come too. I had no idea what was waiting for me. The client introduced a woman I didn't recognize, then casually said, "You two must have met at the Super Bowl." My stomach dropped. I hadn't been there, so how would he know? I've been a lifelong fan of the San Francisco 49ers, the kind of fan who never misses an important game. A few years ago, when they made it to the Super Bowl, it felt like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. At the time, I was working at a consulting firm, managing several client accounts. One client in particular knew how passionate I was about football. Over time, we developed a strong working relationship built on trust and mutual respect. We often met for dinner or drinks after meetings, and it felt like more than a typical client interaction. What I didn't know at the time was that he had planned a very thoughtful gesture. He had access to a pair of premium company seats for the Super Bowl and decided to gift them to me as a thank you for my work. Since I reported to a senior partner at the firm, he passed the tickets along to him, asking him to give them to me as a surprise. The Super Bowl came and went. Unfortunately, the 49ers lost, which was disappointing, but I had already accepted that I wouldn't be attending the game. A few weeks later, I met with the client again. After our meeting, we went out for drinks, and he casually asked something that completely caught me off guard. "Why didn't you go to the game?" I paused, confused. "What game?" I asked. He looked surprised. "The Super Bowl. I heard someone else was sitting in your seats." That's when I realized something wasn't right. I told him I had never received any tickets. His expression changed immediately. He was clearly concerned. He asked me to quietly look into it and report back. Back at the office, I made a few discreet inquiries. It didn't take long to uncover the truth. The senior partner had taken the Super Bowl tickets, meant for me, and given them to another client instead, presenting them as if they were a gesture from him or the firm. It wasn't just about the tickets. It was about trust. I considered addressing it myself, but I thought carefully. The client had already noticed something was off. Instead of creating conflict, I chose to be transparent and let him handle the situation. I sent him a simple message. "Thank you again for thinking of me with the tickets. It appears they were given to someone else." His response came almost immediately. "Understood. I'll take care of it." A few days later, we were invited to the client's office for a meeting. He specifically asked that the senior partner attend as well, which seemed routine. When we walked into the conference room, everything appeared normal, except for one detail. There was a woman present whom I didn't recognize. The client introduced her casually and added something unexpected. "You two must have met at the Super Bowl." She smiled politely and said she didn't recall meeting us. The client continued, guiding the conversation. The woman mentioned that someone else had been seated next to her at the game, not us, and questioned why those seats had been given to that particular party. The room grew quiet. The client turned to the senior partner and asked calmly, "I gave those tickets for her, didn't I?" There was a long pause. The senior partner fumbled for words, suggesting a misunderstanding, but it was clear to everyone what had happened. Without raising his voice, the client closed his folder and said, "I think we'll end the meeting here." Then he turned to me and added, "It seems I still owe you that thank you. Let's step out for lunch." As for the senior partner, he was asked to leave while the client reconsidered their relationship with the firm. Later that day, the client clarified his expectations. He requested reimbursement for the value of the tickets, a formal apology, and a change in who he would work with going forward. The situation escalated quickly within the firm. The senior partner was held accountable, financially and professionally. He lost the account, and his standing in the firm was significantly affected. From my side, I remained professional throughout, which reflected positively on my integrity and judgment. Although things settled, the work environment was never quite the same. A few months later, I moved on to a better opportunity. Not long after, the client ended their relationship with the firm entirely. Trust takes years to build, but only one decision to break. And in business, just like in life, people remember how you handle both.